Good morning. So before others join, so let's discuss some aptitude questions, guys. So the reason why I do this exercise is like few companies conduct aptitude test as part of their first round, as part of interview evaluation process. Few companies conduct aptitude test to test your logical or analytical skills or reasoning skills, right? Analytical skills or reasoning skills. Okay.
I'm
So
unable to view the screen, sir.
I'm not sharing my screen yet. I did not start sharing my screen yet. Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay, sir.
Right. So this is one of the aptitude question, guys. Profit and loss percentage. Right. So if you buy a product for 150 rupees and sell it for 180 rupees, then what is your profit percentage? 13%. So please share the answer to in the Zoom chat separately to me. Don't share it to everyone. 13%. You got only 2 correct answers. Sorry. I got 4 answers, out of which only 2 are correct. So regarding this aptitude test, right? So some organizations like Global Logic, etc., High Radius, Global Logic, and there are few more companies. I'll give most of companies which conduct aptitude. Frugal Testing is another company. So these are the few companies which conduct this aptitude test. Frugal Testing, Global Logic, High Radius, that I know in Hyderabad. Right? So Global Logic conducts, aptitude test for even experienced guys for 10 plus years experience, 15 years experience, no matter whatever your experience is, and no matter what is your designation, but they will conduct aptitude test for any designation or for any role. That will be one of the preliminary rounds. First, they will ask you to go through the aptitude test, attempt the aptitude test, and then they will schedule like technical interviews. I got only 6 correct answers till now. Out of 10, I got only 6 people answering it correctly. Those who joined bit late, I'm repeating this. So this is the question, guys. Profit and loss percentage question. So buy price is 150, sell price is 180. If you buy a product for 150 and sell it for 180, then what is your profit percentage? Yeah. So here goes your next question. So buy price is 120, sell price is 150. Then what is your profit percentage? Let me explain. So, see, for 120 rupees for 120 rupees that you invested, right? You got 30 rupees profit, right? 120 rupees ki you got the profit is 30 rupees. Okay. Now, what is meant by percentage? Percentage means per 100, right? 100 kenta. How much is per 100, right? So that comes to 100 into 30 by 120, isn't it? 120 rupees ki, if you get a profit of 30 rupees, what is the profit for 100 rupees? For every 100 rupees. So that is how we calculate, right? So this is 100 into 30 divided by 120. How much is that? How much is that? Is it correct calculation?
Yeah, 3000 by
30, if you strike off 13, 120, that comes to 4, right?
4.
100 by 4 is 25,
25.
isn't it? So 30 goes in 120 4 times. So 100 by 4, which is 25, right? So clear, guys? So tomorrow, if they guys, understand the concept. Tomorrow, if they change the numbers, you should be able to calculate. They will not give exactly these numbers, right? Okay. So we'll go to performance testing concepts. Okay, I'll start the session. All right. So let me open your batch tracker as well. Just give me a moment. Okay. So this is the topic that I'm going to cover today. So know your computer. So we'll learn some, like some computer basics, and then we'll start with SDLC, software development lifecycle. Right. So first and foremost, see, these are basics, computer basics. The reason why I'm covering this is so we have like more than 50% of my batch students will be from non-computers, or for that matter, anywhere like any training institute, they'll have like more than 50% from non-computers background guys, right? So they should know that some computer basics, computer fundamentals, and they should be able to answer these simple questions, right? So first question is like, what is an operating system? If someone asks you what is an operating system, so what would be your answer? Is see, they will ask you like what is the operating system on your machine, on your laptop or desktop? You will say like Windows 10 or Windows 11. Then they may ask you like, what is your operator? What is meant by an operating system? Guys, please make it fast.
Windows, sir.
Operating system.
Windows
How
is
do you
the
define an operating system? Windows is an operating system. How do you what does it do? What is an operating system?
It's a computer program organizes.
No, Ashtofinisa, please respond in the, please speak out. Please don't post it in the chat. Please speak out. Your answer is correct.
It's an interface between user and the system.
Right. It's an interface between user and the system, user and your computer. Right?
Yeah.
It's an interface, or it is a software. Operating system is nothing but a software which helps us to interact with the system. Yes or no? It acts as an interface between the computer user and the computer. Right? So next, guys, is it clear, guys? Yes, like I got only one answer, only one guy, one person answered that. So you should be able to see. Everyone, most of you know that. I believe that most of you know that, but you know how to express it. How to put it in words. I'm muting everyone because there is some background noise from few participants. So if you have any queries, please feel free to unmute yourself. Right? For unmuting on Zoom meeting, there is a shortcut. So you press and hold the space bar. Okay. If you press and hold the space bar and you can speak out, and then you can release the space bar. That is an option to temporarily unmute or unmute yourself. Clear, guys? Press and hold the space bar. Okay. Now, so how do you check the system configuration? If someone asks you what is your system configuration, can you check and post it in the Zoom chat, guys? Everyone, please check your system configuration and post it in the Zoom chat. So when I say system configuration, I mean to ask, if someone asks you system configuration, they are asking you, what is your RAM size? What is your processor, right? Which generation processor is that? That information is. Yeah, so Rajesh answered me like his system configuration is i5 CPU at now. Rajesh, like which generation processor is that? i5, that is fine. So which generation processor? Soumya Ranjan i3 8th generation, good. Ashraf Nisa i5 4th generation, RAM 4 GB. So those who are having 4 GB RAM, please upgrade your RAM. Okay. So, because like we are going to use multiple tools like Zoom meeting, and once if you want to use JMeter, we will install Java, and also database, we will install MySQL database on your system. So for all these software, you need to have at least 8 GB of RAM. Those who are having 8 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, please add 4 more GB to your system. Right. Right. Yes. So 8th generation. So your processor generation is 8th generation. Right, Rajesh. Yeah. Next I3. So how many of you answered? Rajesh, Ashraf, Unisa, Soumya Ranjan. I got only from 3 people, guys. Is it done? So you want me to explain, guys, others?
But sir, how can I know whether my thing is 8th generation? Like from properties, I cannot see remaining.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll explain that. Yes. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen, guys. Okay. So you are seeing my. Let me one more answer from Abhilipsa Das, 16 GB RAM. I want your processor configuration also, Abhilipsa. Okay, and let me explain. Okay, so you are seeing my screen, right? So there are multiple ways to check that. Of course, you can go to Task Manager and go to Performance tab. This is one way. And the other way is you can go to your, open Windows Explorer, open Windows Explorer, and go to this PC properties. Go to this PC and properties. This is one way. This is one way to check, right? And you see here, right? So you see here, right? So mine is i7, and this first number in this number. See, after your i7 processor model, you have some number over here, right? 9750H. This first number tells your generation, right? So mine is a 9th generation processor. And this is your processor clock speed, 2.6 gigahertz is your processor clock speed. And my machine has 16 GB of RAM, 16 gigs of RAM, right? It's pronounced as GB or gigs. Clear, guys? So this is one way to check that. The other way is you can go to Task Manager, and if you go to Performance tab under Task Manager, guys, is everyone seeing this Performance tab? Are you seeing this window like this? See, initially, if you haven't opened Task Manager till now, you will see like this. How many of you seeing this window like this? Guys, please speak out. How many of you are seeing like this, guys? Am I audible, guys?
I'm seeing
Yes, sir.
the performance options, sir.
Yes, Pawan.
Okay. So if you are seeing like this, right, click on this more details. Please click on this more details. Okay. And then you will get these options, right? Processes, performance, app history, startup, users details, and all. Right. So go to Performance tab. So basically, Process tab will show you what all programs are running. Foreground and background programs, right? What all programs are running. So for example, I'm using Google Chrome now, Notepad I'm using. I opened settings, this window, right? Task Manager, Windows Explorer, Zoom meeting. So these are currently running programs in the foreground. And these are the background process. There are some 114 background processes running, right? So this processes tab will show you those all the programs that are running. And if you go to Performance tab and if you click on CPU, you can see your processor configuration over here as well. So mine is Intel Core i7 9th generation processor. 2.6 gigahertz is the processor clock speed. this tells you like the more the higher it is, the faster your system will be, obviously, right? If you see the higher than this number, the better the configuration is. And in this number, right? So this tells you your processor generation. Okay. And is it clear, Rajesh?
Yes, yes.
And next thing. So, and we will discuss about this L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache later on. This is important in performance engineering. Okay. We'll discuss this later on. And we'll discuss this, logical cores and what is meant by cores and logical cores and all, virtualization and all later on. So next, coming to, it's a bit early now to discuss. So coming to memory, these basic concepts that you should know about is like what is your system configuration, right? So if you go to memory, right, let me clear these times, right? So here it tells you like this is the installed memory on my system. This is the total installed memory on my system, out of which 8.4 gigs of memory is already in use, and available memory is 7.2 GB. Clear? Free memory or available memory is 7.7 GB approximately. Clear, guys? And observe here one more thing. Slots used 2 of 2. I asked some people to upgrade the RAM, right? So you should be having an empty slot if you want to upgrade. Yeah, you will be definitely having, right? So slots use 2 of 2. So generally, desktop contains 4 RAM slots. Laptop contains 2 RAM slots. Clear, guys? Laptop contains 2 RAM slots. Desktop contains 4 RAM slots. Some laptops come with inbuilt RAM. They will have only one empty slot. Understood, guys? Some laptop models come with inbuilt RAM. Means your RAM will be inbuilt, comes inbuilt with the motherboard, and you will have an empty slot as well if you want to upgrade, right? So those who are having 4 GB of RAM, please upgrade. Please add 4 more GB of RAM. And this is your RAM clock speed. Observe here. This is your RAM clock speed, 2667 megahertz. And if you want to upgrade, suppose let's say for example, I want to upgrade my RAM, right? I want to add 16 more GB. So I need to go for this only this speed. Okay. I can remove 8 GB RAM and I can add one more 16 GB RAM, right? But it should be of this clock speed, 2667 megahertz. Clear, guys? Guys, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So this is the important configuration. And when someone asks you configuration, right, these are the important details that you have to know, right? And next, next you have a disk. Okay, let me go to the disk part. My laptop has an SSD of 1 TB. Here you can see 1024 GB. That is the storage capacity of my SSD. I don't have a hard disk, but this laptop has an SSD. Where SSD stands for? What does SSD stands for? Okay, so solid state drive.
Solid
SSD
state.
stands for solid state drive. Okay,
Solid
solid state drive.
state.
All right. So these are the important system configuration details that you should know this. Okay. Next. So and one more thing, operating system. Regarding operating system, one more important information is, I have my system was installed with like 64-bit operating system, as you can see here. 64-bit operating system. Of course, most of the like new laptops or new machines come with 64-bit only, right? And this tells your operating system. Windows 10 Pro is my operating system, right? These are the important details that you should know about your system. What operating system is it running on, and what is the processor and what is the RAM configuration. Clear? Now let me go back to the slide. So next important basic that you should know is like what is meant by IP address of a computer, right? What's meant by IP address? Just like, every house or has some address, right? So in the same way, every computer which is connected to internet will have something called IP address, internet protocol address. And how to check the IP address, guys? So what is the purpose of this IP address? So uniquely identify a computer. There are crores and crores of computers connected to internet, right? So to uniquely identify each computer, or else, to uniquely identify any computer, right? So we have this IP address mechanism. And how to check the IP address of your system? Can you please check your IP address? Those who are aware of that, can you please check your IP address and ping it in the Zoom chat? Those who are from non-computer background or who are not aware of that, can you open command prompt, go to your Windows search box and type CMD here, right? This is Windows search box. Let me highlight it. See, this is called as Windows search box, isn't it? Okay, I think I cannot try it. Yeah. So here, I'm using Spotlight. Okay, let me use Spotlight. So here it is. So type CMD over here and open a command prompt, right? And type ipconfig. Type ipconfig. Okay. And now this is your IP address. 192. This is my IP address. Okay, this is my machine's IP address. 192.168.0.134. Right? Okay, this is IP address of my machine, guys. Clear? So this is private IP. Okay, I'll come to that. What is private IP and what is public IP? But for now, remember that this is the private IP address of my machine. And observe here, I am connected to Wi-Fi. You should check. There are different sections over here. Observe here. Oh, let me use annotation. See, there are different sections over here. This is one section where it is displaying the IP address. And one more thing, Ethernet adapter. So you have couple of sections here. Let's understand this. So right now I am connected to Wi-Fi. That's why I need to check these. All others you are seeing as media disconnected. But if you are connected to with a LAN cable to your internet, right? So you will see the IP address not here, but you will see somewhere over here. Wireless LAN Ethernet adapter. You will see under some Ethernet adapter or under Ethernet adapter. Understood, guys? Able to follow? As I am connected to Wi-Fi, I am seeing values over here only for this under this section only. And I am not for all other three sections, I am seeing media disconnected. But if you are connected to your internet with the help of a LAN cable, right? Then you will see the IP address over here. IP address of your system will be displayed over here under Ethernet adapter. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right, and this is my I am connected to Wi-Fi now, so that this is my IP address of my machine currently 192.168.0.134. Okay, and remember that this is not a static IP. This will not be same forever. Will not be same forever. So it may change. It will change on on what basis it changes or on period I don't know. But this is not a static IP address. Okay. And so and this is private IP, as I mentioned, this is private IP. Okay. And what is the now let's understand what is meant by private IP and what is public IP. Guys, is it interesting or scaring for non-computers, guys? I hope this is interesting to know to learn. Right? And observe here, I mentioned two things: IPv4, IPv6. We'll discuss about that IPv4 and IPv6 later on. But remember, this is your IPv4 address. The whatever I am showing you, this 192.168.0.134, this is IPv4 address. And this is IPv6 address of this machine. IPv6 address of this machine. Now, what is the difference between IPv4 and IPv6? When we have IPv4, IPv6 was introduced recently. Okay. This IPv6 was introduced recently. So why was it? Let's understand why is this? Why was this IPv6 introduced when we have IPv4, right? So you remember, when in early 90s or in 2000, so when we first had mobile phones, right? Or in the early years, our mobile numbers used to start with number 9, isn't it? Initially, our mobile numbers used to start with number 9. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? And once, after some years, once all those numbers got exhausted, right? We got 8 series, and then 7 series, and then 6 series now. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? So once all those mobile numbers, are exhausted in each series, now we have 6 series now. So in the same way, IPv4, all the IP addresses might have exhausted, and they introduced IPv6. Able to follow, guys? Able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got IP address only from 2 people, from 3 to 4 people only. Anyways, so this is and one more thing, whatever I have shown you, that is private IP address. Okay. Now let's understand what is public IP. Let's understand what is meant by public IP and how to check the public IP. Right. So for that, open your browser, any of your favorite browser, and type what is my IP.com. Everyone, please do that. What is my IP.com? Right? And this is public IP. Observe here. My public IPv4 is. This is your public IP. Okay. And also it tells you the location as well. Right? I am in Hyderabad now. TGIN Telangana, India. TG for Telangana, IN for India. Okay. This is the IP location. And what is ISP, guys? What is meant by ISP?
Internet service provider.
Yes.
Right, internet service provider. So I'm using Zoom Fiber Solutions, right? So this is public IP. What is meant now? Let's understand the difference between private IP and public IP. Okay, so this private IP is internal to my network. Let's say, for example, I have 5 to 6 computers connected to my Wi-Fi. Okay, so each machine connected to my Wi-Fi will have a private IP address, right? But all the computers connected to my Wi-Fi network will have the same public IP. This is the IP address with which my network is visible to the external world. Understood, guys? Private IP means internal IP address within that network, which are connected to, let's say, for example, I have 5 or 10 computers connected to my Wi-Fi. Then each machine will have to uniquely identify each machine. Each machine will be assigned some private IP, will be having some private IP. But however, to the external world, this is the public IP of my network. Is it clear, guys? What is meant by what is difference between public IP and private IP?
Yes.
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 This is something like your, suppose if you are staying in an apartment, right? And you have like 10 flats in your apartment, right? So you will have internally, you will have some flat numbers, right? Flat 101, 102, 103, 104, or 201, 202, 203, and so on, right? But to the external world, you will have some. Suppose if you want to tell your address to someone, right? You'll say your plot number or your apartment name, isn't it? So that is nothing but your public IP. Got it? And flat numbers are something like your private IP. Within the building, to identify each flat, we have some flat numbers, isn't it? Clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the difference between public IP and private IP. Okay. Next comes host name. Next important basics that you should know is host name. Host name is nothing but your computer name. And how to check the host name? How to check this host name? So open a command prompt. You already opened a command prompt, right? Just type their host name. Just type host name over there in the command prompt. And this is my computer name, right? Desktop T8NT B63. So that was the name given by like the guy who installed this software 10 Pro, Windows 10 Pro on my machine. Okay. So this is my machine name. The host name is nothing but machine name. And you can change it, of course. You can definitely change it. Right? You can change the host name, please. So how to change that is you can go to rename this PC and you can give it here. See, current PC name, it is showing as this one. Let's say, for example, let me rename it. Dell XPS 7590. That is my laptop model. Okay, Dell XPS 7590. Click next. Okay, you can use. Okay. I think we have to give hyphen. Space, maybe space will not work. Yeah. XPS. Right. So this is my host name, or this is my computer name. And this will be shown once I restart my system. Dell XPS, I gave my laptop model number. That's it. Okay. Now I need to restart it to show it here. Got it? I'll restart later. So, but this is your, oh, now it is here. So it is showing both here, both the names here, old name and new name over here. And once I restart, it should show this name. Got it? Now, so this is your host name. Host name is nothing but your computer name. That's it. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one, next basic. And LAN and WAN. I hope you might have heard this, right? Previously.
Yes.
LAN and WAN. LAN stands for local area network. WAN stands for wide area network. And the next important basic that you should know is ping command. Right? What is this ping command? Okay. Suppose, let's say, for example, so you have two computers connected to your network. Okay. 1 second. For that, what I will do is I have my office laptop. So let me quickly check what is the IP address of that office laptop. So this is the IP address of my office laptop, which is connected to my network. And if I want to connect with that computer, if I want to connect to the computer, or if I want to check if it is reachable or not, if I can connect to that or not, we use this ping command. So anyone having two computers connected or to your network, right? You can try it, or else your mobile phone also will be assigned some IP address. Okay. So you can use this ping command to check whether that machine is reachable or not, whether you can connect to that machine or not. Okay. So this is ping command. And one more thing, if you come across any new term over here in the PPT, just type, double click on that and use Control K. Okay. I'm sorry. So right click on that and Control Alt K. I think 1 second. Explore. Yeah. Control Alt Shift I. Sorry. This is a shortcut. So if you click on this Explore ping, right, you will get the Google search results, as you can see here. Got it, guys? Okay. Here it is showing different. Hold on 1 second. Let me change it. I will change it as ping command. Okay. Now, if you select this and use this explore ping command, I will get the exact Google search results. Okay. Ping command basics for testing and troubleshooting. So you see the Google search results now related to this ping command. Right. So please go through this. Once I share the PPT, right? So please explore each and every command that I have listed over here by using that explore option. Right click and use this explore ping command, or else you can open a Google search and do a Google search for ping command in Windows or Linux. Right? So ping command sends packet of data to a specific address on a network and then lets you know how long it takes to transmit that data. It sends some packet of data to a specific IP address, means to another computer which is having some IP address, and it will let you know how long it took to transmit that data. If it cannot transmit the data, it will show you like this: destination host unreachable. But if you have two personal computers connected to your network, you can use this. Or else if you are, you can check this in your office machine. So if you want to connect to your colleague's machine, and if you want to check whether you are able to connect or not to transfer some files and all, right? You can use this ping command, right? Now, so the next thing is command prompt and elevated command prompt. Guys, am I audible, guys?
Nice. Audible.
Yes, sir.
So next thing that you should know is command prompt and elevated command prompt. Now command prompt you already know, right? This is your normal command prompt. So how to open that? You go to Windows search box and type CMD and you get this command prompt, right? If you simply select that, you will get this command prompt wherein you can use few basic, DOS commands, isn't it? You can check some Windows commands. You can use some Windows commands like this ipconfig or host name, right? And the host name. I changed the host name, right? Let me check if that is changed here. No, it's not yet reflected here because I did not restart. It asked for a restart, right? That's why it's not reflected. So I'll restart the machine after my session. Tomorrow you can see that, right? Please remind me to show this. Next, you can run these commands like ping command and all this, right? Now, so this is normal command prompt that you are seeing. Now, what is elevated command prompt? Elevated command prompt or command prompt with admin privileges. How to use that? See, first of all, let's understand what is the purpose of elevated command prompt. If you want to run some commands, right, you need admin privileges. So, and how do you get that admin privileges is once you get this command prompt, use this option run as administrator. Now this is administrator command prompt or elevated command prompt. Got it? This is administrator command prompt. I'll give you some commands like which require that admin privileges in the next session. I need to check on that. So, however, for now, remember that this is elevated command prompt or command prompt with administrator admin privileges is called as elevated command prompt. Got it? See, in some, when you are working, right, in some articles, you see like open a elevated command prompt or open a PowerShell. So you should know what is elevated command prompt and what is a PowerShell. That's the reason I have included these basics here, guys. Okay. Next thing is next to computer basic that you should know is firewall. There will be something on a computer called firewall, which will be protecting your computer from hacking attempts and all. Right. So how to open that, how to check that firewall is in the Windows search box, type firewall.cpl, where CPL stands for control panel. Okay. See firewall, if you type firewall.cpl, please everyone come try this command, firewall.cpl. In your Windows search box, type this command firewall.cpl and enter, click enter to open this firewall. Yes, please do this, guys, everyone. These are important computer basics that you should know. Everyone should know. Every software engineer should know, not only performance test engineer. Whether you are a manual test engineer or automation test engineer or developer or performance test engineer, security testing guy, every software engineer should know these computer basics, whatever I am covering, right? We'll be knowing this definitely. Okay. So now if you open a firewall, so this is how it looks like, Windows Defender firewall. And what does this Windows Defender firewall does? You can read it over here. See here, it's mentioned over here. Windows Defender firewall can help prevent hackers or malicious software. Malicious means, what is the meaning of malicious?
Dangerous.
Right, malicious means dangerous. Right? So your firewall protects your computer from hackers and dangerous software, malicious software, from gaining access to your PC through the internet or a network. Right? There will be something called firewall which will be protecting your computer from hacking attempts and malicious software, dangerous software. Right? Currently, my Windows firewall is turned on, as you can see here. So, as you can see here, my Windows Defender firewall state is on. And you can turn it off. Suppose, you can go to this. So if you want to install some programs, right, you may need to turn off this Windows Defender firewall. So how can you turn it for a temporarily, right? So how to turn it off is like click on that, let me go to the previous window. Here you have an option called turn Windows Defender firewall on or off. Click on that link and you see your options over here, right, to turn off. So when this will be required is if you want to install some programs, right, you may need to turn off this firewall temporarily till installing that software. Clear? And this is how to turn off that Windows Defender firewall, but it is not recommended. As you can see here, not recommended. Once you install the program, you can turn it on back. You can turn it on. Okay. Everyone is seeing this window, guys?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes.
Now, next, additional clocks in Windows operating system. I will explain this later, guys. Okay. So this we will use like when we are working with US clients or UK clients or any other, international clients, right? Or international projects, right? So this will be helpful, additional clocks in Windows operating system. Or else let me quickly show that. So on the bottom right, you have date and time, right? So if you click over there and, you have some option, adjust date and time, right? Adjust date and time. If you go to that window, right? And on the right side, top right, you have an option, add clocks for different time zones, isn't it? So click on that, add clocks for different time zones. On my machine, I already added some different time zones. See here, I added Eastern time zone and Pacific time zone. Okay. So without these, right? So by default, you will not have these guys. But I added these two different time zones, Eastern time and PST time. Got it? So that, I can see what is the Eastern time and Pacific time now. As you can see here now, are you seeing that case at the bottom right? You are seeing
Yes,
first
yes.
local time and then Eastern time and PST, isn't it? Right? So how to get those clocks is by default, it will show only local time, isn't it? On your machine, it should be showing only local time, right? So how do you add those clocks is by using this option, add clocks for different time zones. So you can go to task manager, sorry, not task manager, sorry. So you can right click on the taskbar and go to adjust date and, sorry, right click on the date and time, right? And use this option, adjust date time. There you have an option, add clocks for different time zones, right? All right. So this is additional clocks in Windows operating system. And then remote desktop connection. Remote desktop connection means if you want to connect to a remote computer, if you want to connect from this computer to a remote computer, so we use this Windows feature called RDP or RDC. Okay. And how to get that remote desktop connection is type in the Windows search box, type remote, and you get this option, remote desktop connection. And here you need to enter the IP address of that machine. You need to enter the IP address of the machine that you want to connect. Right? This is used to connect to a remote machine. Suppose you want in your office also, you can try this, like if you did not try it before. So you can, ask the IP address of your colleague machine and you can try to connect to that. Or else if you have 2 computers or 3 computers at your home connected to your internet, right? So you can try this command to connect to their machine, but you should know their credentials, that system credentials. You should be having that machine credentials to connect to that machine, right? So this is about remote desktop connection. Many people, those who are keeping experience, right? Those who are taking training and keep fake experience, right? They will be caught here, like when we ask these basics. If the interviewer asks these basic comments, right? Basic concepts, most of them will be cut. Okay, and these are few questions that we will ask to find out whether they have genuine experience or not. Got it? So load runner and JMeter, everyone will teach, right? So tools, everyone will teach. Or if you went for a manual testing, every trainer will teach like how to write test cases, what is software testing. They will explain what is software testing, what is software testing life cycle, different types of testing and test cases. But they will not explain you. They may not be explaining these computer basics. And interviewer can easily find out, come to a conclusion whether you are genuine profile or not, if they ask any questions on this, right? But those who are working, definitely most of them will know this. 99% of the working guys will know all these basics. Okay. Next comes Windows shortcuts. So I have some Windows shortcuts in the next slide. So I'll explain this tomorrow. So you should be comfortable by using these Windows based shortcuts, guys. Okay. If you are using Windows operating system, everyone should be comfortable with these Windows shortcuts, right? And then, so those who are working, like those, they already know, right? Like these particularly this thing, Alt Tab and Windows D for desktop, Windows E for file explorer. Suppose you want to open okay, let me use this command, file Windows plus E, right? So it will open a file explorer, as you can see here. File Explorer, or this is also called Windows Explorer. This is also called Windows Explorer. Okay. And F11 is to maximize the windows. And everyone knows this, Control C, Control X, Control V, everyone knows this. And quick access, there is some shortcut called quick access. Let's say, for example, I am using, here you can see I am already using quick access. See here, I added some programs to quick access. Observe here, I added some folders to quick access, right? So that, see, suppose I want to use JMeter 5.5, which is on my G drive tools, right? Here I have this Apache JMeter 5.5. Now, if I want to regularly visit this folder, right, then, how do I can add it to the quick access. I can add this folder to the quick access. Go to home and, use this option pin to quick access. Then it will be visible like this. You will see a pin symbol next to that like this. You see here, right? Next time, if I want to go to that folder, right, I need not go to G drive and all those paths. I can go here and simply click on this quick access and it opens that folder directly. Right? Understood how quick access works, guys?
Yes.
Right. So these are some Windows shortcuts that everyone should know. Okay. And host file in Windows operating system. I'll explain this later as and when we come across the context. And port number also I'll explain when we install our sample application, right? There I'll explain that port number. Next important compared to basic that you should know is Windows PowerShell. This is Windows applicable for Windows operating system. You have something called PowerShell. I'll explain that also. This also when we come across that. When do we use this, PowerShell, and what is the difference between a normal command prompt and this PowerShell? I'll explain that later. It's too a bit early now to explain these concepts. Few concepts are here. But everyone should know this, every software engineer should know this, right? And apart from these, everyone should be comfortable with Excel basics. Okay. So if you have Excel, most of you should be having Excel installed on your Microsoft Office suite installed on your machine, right? Open Excel and open a blank workbook, go to help, right? And show training, click on this show training. So you will see some videos on Excel basics. So please go through these videos. Start going through these videos. Each video will be like 5 to 10 minutes only. But you will learn Excel basics. Basic concepts you will learn. You need not be an expert. You need not be an expert, or we need not be writing, macros in Excel and all those. We need not be an expert. But we should know, every software engineer should know this. This MS Office suite, that is Excel and Word, MS Word and MS Excel, Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. Clear, guys? So please go through these videos. Here you can see Excel video training, and there is a quick start video, how to create a workbook in Excel, how to save that. Please go through these videos, guys. As you don't have any assignments now, so till we start the JMeter tool, you will not be having any assignments. So please utilize this time to learn these Excel basics and MS Word, Microsoft Word basics. So let me show that as well. If you want to open Windows Word, Microsoft Word, MS Word, type WinWord here, right? And you get this Word app, Word application. Open a blank document, go to help, and again you have the same option, show training. So please go through these. Again, you have some basic videos here, right? Please go through these videos. And you should be comfortable with Word and Excel for sure. Okay. Otherwise, you'll struggle a lot once you get a job, once you get into a job. Okay. And static IP and dynamic IP, I just explained before when I explained IP address, that the whatever IP address that I am seeing here, that is a dynamic IP. It's not a static IP. Okay. If you want to get a static IP, right, so you have to pay some additional fees to your ISP, Internet Service Provider. There will be some additional fee of 50 or 100 rupees per month to get this static IP. Okay. So let's not bother about that. You don't really require that. But for understand that, remember that whatever IP address that you are seeing here, this is a dynamic IP, not a static IP. It changes from time to time. Clear? And FQDN, VPN and all, I'll explain these concepts later on. FQDN stands for fully qualified domain name. I'll explain what is VPN. If you are interested in to know, so just do a Google search, right? So click on this and use explore VPN, you will get the Google search results like this. So please go through them, or else open a Google search page and search for VPN. If you are curious to know before I cover it, or if you have some time today, just explore what is VPN and what are the different VPNs that we have. VPN stands for virtual private network, right? So, or you go to YouTube and watch some videos on VPN. What is VPN and all this? Clear? Now, so next thing is WinSCP and PuTTY. Yes, these are two important tools that we'll be using in real time. And environment variables. This is also something you need to know. How to open that environment variables. Yes, you type here enva and you get this edit system environment variables. And this is environment variables. I'll explain this later. When do we use this environment variables and what is the purpose of using this, right? But for now, remember like how to open that environment variables, right? If you type here in the Windows search box environment, so you'll get this environment variables option. Click on this system properties. It will take you to system properties. Under system properties, you have something called environment variables. I'll explain about this also later on. All right, so I'll stop it here, guys, for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So these are few computer basics, Rajesh, like those who are working, like if you know any important, if I missed any important computer basics, please, I'll add it to the PPT. Please let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll stop it here, guys, for today. Let me stop recording. For recording purpose, like this is the last demo that I am giving. So from tomorrow onwards, you have to confirm your joining if you want to continue for the session, guys. Right? Only these demo sessions will be shared as public videos. All the actual content are, from tomorrow onwards, I'll be sharing. I'll be uploading to my YouTube channel as private videos, and you need to confirm your joining to get access to those. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Okay, and contact me on my WhatsApp number. Here you can see my WhatsApp number if you want to join this live project training or performance testing training with real-time projects, right? And placement. Yeah. And like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a nice day. Hey, by the way, if you share your email address, I'm going to create a Google Classroom where I will be giving assignments. For today, assignment is learning the Excel basics and Word basics. Got it? Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel basics. I'm creating a new class for this batch, right? And I'm going to, so this is PT for performance testing. PT. I'll start with JMeter in this batch, and then BlazeMeter, and then LoadRunner. So this would be the sequence for this batch. Okay, and this is August 2022 batch. BlazeMeter is a simple tool. You can learn it in 2 days. Room is Zoom meeting. So I will add your email addresses to this classroom, and I will be giving assignments on this Google Classroom, guys. So once you start scripting also, I'll be giving assignments in this Google Classroom. So, we are using, this is one of the digital platform that we are leveraging for these trainings. So you got it, guys. I'll be adding, I'll add your email address to here. And once I give in an assignment, right? So you will get a mail with that assignment. What is the assignment? Okay. Yeah, I'll stop it here, guys.